Eyup cock.
It's EFL review midweek. I say a little prayer for you. 4 championship games. 3.5 championship games, because one of them we don't care about. You know which one it is. Cardiff 1, Burnley 2 to get us rocking, baby. The curse is lifted. The curse is lifted. Yes, Burnley still won game, but that's beside the point. The curse is lifted. You can now score against Burnley. It's been patched. This little glitch that they had going on where you couldn't score, it's been patched. It's done. 3 against Preston. Pfft, shitters. Let's not take away from it that Burnley have won, because they've got some, like, freakish players. End of the day. Whatever you want to say about it, the difference is, with the players in this league, Burnley have got someone like Esteve, Fleming. Even Josh Brownhill does not get the love that he deserves. He gets some rate numbers from midfield, that lad. Marcus Edwards, Trafford in net. And then you're looking at this Cardiff side, who, yes, I'm going to say it again, I think they've been really good since, like, say December-ish time. They've been picking up a lot. They're performing like a mid-table side. Callum Robinson scored a lot of goals from this season as well. I think he's on like 12. But these players, man, it's just... So sometimes you've just got to sit there and admit that you're being beaten by a better side. And that is what has happened with Cardiff here. Again, if you look at the form for like the last 15 games, Cardiff are more than fine. There's a big gap between them and like other relegation-threatened sides. Last 10 games, it's exactly the same. Even if you use an even smaller sample and go up last 5, Cardiff are going to be fine. And there's no shame in admitting that Burnley are a better side than you. They've done 71 points. They've conceded 10 goals all year. I'd take it as a small win that you've scored a goal and just be happy and move on. They're going to get at least like 90 odd points. Then, well, that top 3 are all going to get 90 plus points, you would imagine, unless something goes like horribly wrong from now to then. Cardiff will be fine, man. Cardiff will be fine. Don't worry about it, lads. Don't worry. Look at the gap there. 5 points. Pfft, light work. Speaking of... Hull 2, Plymouth 0. Another curse that's being lifted. Hull at home are absolutely horrendous. And this is coming from me, by the way. We've got like 20th best home record in League 1. Yeah. Before this game, they had 13 points. There was an 8-point gap from the second worst to Hull. I don't know what's wrong with them. I met a Hull fan yesterday, actually, and he was saying that they've been crap at home for like years, effectively. It seems to have come up, really. Well, they got relegated, didn't they? Spent 1 year taking piss out to everybody in League 1 and then come back up. But they've been crap at home since then. Why? Why? I don't get it. The attendances are quite good at Hull, so I don't know why they're performing so ass a lot of the time. But this is a nice change of scenery, innit? They've been miles better side. Possession fairly even, but they've had more shots on target. They defended really good. Everybody wants to get like really giddy with the expected goals and the shots. Like, oh my God, what we're doing at that end. Plymouth have not had a shot on target all game. They've had 3 shots the entire game, and all of them were pop shots. They've not had one chance, Plymouth, where you think, oh, they could have maybe scored that. Not said that, they should. Maybe we'll give them a slight benefit of doubt and say they could have scored that goal. There is nothing there from Plymouth in this game. All defended really good start to finish and got the deserved win for it. Oh, that's still looking up form, hold on. Yeah, again, 5 points cleared now. I forgot what I said a while ago. I definitely had Luton going down. I think I changed my mind on Plymouth, but I might re-change my mind again. Because, I mean, the defending for that second goal especially is horse. It's really poor. Because we're only in March, a lot of these sides have still got to play each other, haven't they? But if you can't get something against the worst home side in division, when Plymouth's away form is like equally as bad, they're crap away. But if you can't get somewhere at all, who've won like, what, 2 games at home all year before this? Yeah, 2 games in 18 they've won. And you've not even had a sniff, really. You've not had a chance all game. That ain't good for Plymouth, that. Maybe the mind were on Man City in FA Cup and they're still coming over like the hangover of that, beating Liverpool. That the whole potential underdog story, going 1-0 up probably didn't help them in grand scheme of things, like emotionally. They look a bit drained, but they've not got time to sit and like think, oh God, poor me, we've lost, oh God, when you've got another game coming up on Saturday that you're going to need to be up for it, or you are going to find yourself with a bigger gap than this really quickly. Except for ages, I think Hull will be fine. But what we're looking like a very tight race at one point, there's a gap starting to form, and the 5 points, that hadn't been like that once I want to fall this season, a gap that big. Oh my God, we're looking over at the table. Millwall 0, Bristol City 2. Sorry, Millwall, by the way, but Bristol City, I'm a big fan. I'm a big old fan, mate, this year. Up to 7th, level on points, 1 point off 5th. And just something to show you quickly. No championship side outside the top 6 has won more points since Christmas than Bristol City. Quite a flawed stat, because that means nothing. You know, outside at top 6, like you're trying to get it top 6, so it means Jack Diddle, really. But still, nice stat. I'm starting to believe. I'm actually starting to believe. Also, just speak about Millwall quickly defensively. They've not conceded a lot of goals this season at all. What they've got so far, 36. It's a very, very good defensive record. It's a top 6 defensive record. But that is, I'm just going to say it now. I think that is largely down to one man and one man alone. Because the rest of these Muppets stood next to Tanganga are shit. Seriously, a lot of these players that Millwall have got from a defensive point of view are crap, apart from Tanganga. And it's not like these are well-worked, brilliant goals from Bristol City. The first one's like nice awareness to slide it across from a back post, but second one's scrappy. You'd think that'd suit Millwall, to be honest with you. And they're not in worse form, but you know what I mean? Like, they got battered by Plymouth and they've lost this one. But they keep chipping points away. But it's so Millwall. We're talking about Bristol City. They can never get in top 6, right? Ever. Regardless of what they do, they're never going to get in there. Maybe this year's the one. But Millwall are exact same. I know we're looking at two light sides with probably completely different amounts of revenue. You think Bristol City are bringing a lot more money than Millwall with the attendances and stuff like that. But Millwall now, I expect more from them. They've been in the Championship enough now. They're making huge sales, genuinely humongous sales for what league they're in. Yeah, I know when you look at some of these sides above you, these have got like obscene amounts of money. But Millwall, like, they sold Essay for a lot of money. They sold, well, it's a loan, but it's going to be a buy with Zian for a lot of money. They will inevitably sell Tanganga for a lot of money. This is where your owners put the bollocks on the table and see what they're made of, because you've got a real chance here of finally doing something. And it felt like they've shunned this season off. Yeah, they spent a little bit of money in January, but they've shunned this season off again, thinking, oh, we'll be all right just finishing top half, no chance at top 6, to then rebuild and go again in next year. Maybe lack of ambitions a bit strong to say about Millwall, but I do expect more from them now, I really do. I just want to say again, that defence apart from Tanganga is crap. Then finally, Preston nil, Swansea nil, couldn't care less. Looking at the table, I know we've only had 4 games, but it levels it out now. Everyone's on 35, it's level. Derby is 6 points off without scoring a goal in the last 4 games. Worrying. Oxford losing a lot of games at minute. Probably quite thankful that they've still got a 7-point gap, and you'd think you can win sort of like 3 games until the rest of the season. That should be enough. Maybe. I don't think we're going to be looking at a huge point standard to stay up like it was last year. Like, what did Birmingham go down on? I want to say like 52, 51. It were a lot. It was one of the biggest ones I've ever seen. 50. That's crazy. That's going down on 50. So if Oxford can pluck 3 wins out, I think 48 is probably going to be enough. 47-ish. I can't see Luton or Plymouth picking that many points. Definitely not. And Derby, 100% not. But now I'm thinking, like, who can these 3 drag in? Luton have actually won the last game, which is big. But who can these 3 drag in? Because Cardiff are playing really good recently. Well, really good is probably a bit of a stretch. But Cardiff are playing good in recent months. Hull are a good side. Portsmouth are going to be nowhere near it now. Swans have done enough to sort of like chip away and be away from it. Stoke, Oxford are 2 that I think could be dragged into it. But are they going to pull at least 5 points on these? Plus the goal difference, because that's effectively a point, isn't it? The point difference for Stoke and Hull is miles better than all 3 of these. Not Derby, actually. Derby's in the worst thing ever, just based on the fact that they don't concede loads of goals. But they're not scoring. Again, it is a problem. I don't know what to think about this bottom 3, if there's a way out for any of them now. Top 6, there's no changes, but Bristol City are really going for it this time, aren't they? Look at them greens. Wow. No Reading 4. Bloody hell, that's unheard of for these. Burnley keeping pressure on Sheffield United as well. That's 100% going down to Wywick third last game. 1,000,000%. But it doesn't change whoever top is, does it? Because he's a winning league and that's it. Even though they're not here, and I'm not talking about him here, the winning league. So grow up, anybody that thinks otherwise. Have a look at this dog shit league. Blackpool nil, Peterborough nil, couldn't care less. Bolton 3, Birmingham 1. Now, that is a result. If I were a serious YouTuber, right, I would go back to one of my EFL reviews a couple of weeks ago where I said that Bolton are going to get automatics, clip it up and put it here. But I can't be asked, so you're just going to have to take my word for it. I knew this were coming. To be fair, I didn't know this were coming. I didn't actually think they'd beat Birmingham, but I knew this were coming. I'm telling you, the real threat to Wickham and Wrexham with his top 2 chase is these boys. It's the Bolton boys. It's Schumacher's Barmy Army. It's 10 points. That's no. I'm sorry, that's not. Especially with some sides that Bolton have got to play. A lot of this like top 10 have still got to play each other. All your promotion chasing sides, a lot of them have got to play each other. I do think we're looking at probably like a top 7 now. But Bolton are serious. I'm telling you, the way these attack now, they're a completely different side, man. It's incredible, really, what just a changing manager can do and tweaking odd little thing. Because I don't think they're playing like a completely different system to what they were under ever. They've got like a little bit more freedom, I would say, from an attacking point of view. But they've not like completely changed structure and ideas, have they? Schumacher's maybe got a little bit of leeway with him and not changing his team as much. Maybe you can definitely see he's more of a people person, Schumacher, than ever probably was. I know we all talk about Birmingham's team and Birmingham's depth, but these are no mugs. Do you know what I mean? Bolton's squad, I've been saying it all year. I've been saying it for the last couple of years. This team is obscene for the league that they're in. And further, For example, last season, these should have been up for automatics with the team that they are compared to a lot of other sides that went up. Bolton failed massively, not getting promoted. They've strengthened since then. I think Randall's a bit of a fairy sometimes, but he's obviously got it if he wants to. Sheehan off bench. Do you know what I mean? That's Sean, that left back's a good player. Baxter on bench. Like, Santos is missing. The squad depth is crazy, and they've definitely got it in them to play like Saturday, Tuesday for the rest of this year. And there's probably just like a different buzz about the place and all, isn't there? You know, as soon as you make you make a big change in managerial appointment like Bolton have done, and you win a couple of games on bounce, there's just like some ungodly feeling that starts taking over at place. It's like, oh my god, everybody's gassed now. We're doing it. We're best team ever. I honestly think they'll do it. I think these could get in second oil. And also, just from a Barnsley point of view, my brothers. I am like, I'm rooting for Bolton now. We've had us like battles over years, and we're stuck here forever. So I'm gonna live my dreams through Bolton. Go on, boys. As for Birmingham, this changes absolutely nothing. They're gonna win league. End of. Goodbye. Cambridge 0, Stevenage 1. You know when you think you know something, like Neil Harris comes in. They've started being really tricky and horrible. Cambridge, they've won the last 2 games 2-0 against a Stockport side that they soaked up a lot of pressure and managed to hit them on break and score 2 goals. Really nice. 2-0 win away at relegation threatened Crawley. Again, humongous win that is. And then you go and get absolutely bummed with a capital B at home to Stevenage. 1 shot. And it weren't even on target. 1. Like 1. Just 1. That is shit. That's terrible. There's a lack of quality, right? And then there's that. Because I'm sorry, Stevenage bet us as well, to be fair. So I don't know what I'm waffling about. But Stevenage at home, like, come on. This is what you'd expect if like Galacticos rocked up. You've not had a sniff all game. Like, come on. Maybe a bit of a wake up call for Neil Harris that it's not all going to be like daisies and flowers and skipping through fields. You know what I mean? It's going to be an hard slog, this, a really hard one. And I feel like that you could be seeing a lot of this as well. Look at that. Every side above bottom 4 got a point off each other. I mean, Stevenage are in 11th still. Playoffs, no chance, but I don't know. I've had enough. You know what it is? I could just see this being next one. So it's giving me monk on a little bit. Did we deserve to lose this? It were a game of absolutely no quality at all. Their goal is hilarious, to be honest with you. It's about 35 yards out and it's bounced twice. It's a free kick, by the way. It's bounced twice before it's gone in. I think I could have got there in time from Barnsley to Charlton to save that, but it's somehow gone in. The only bit of quality that we've had the entire game is this guy, and every single day that goes by, I feel sorry for him. You know what it is, though? It's just the hope that kills you. Like, I'm 100% like, we are not getting it playoffs. But then you win 3 games on bounce. And then I'm looking at his fixtures after this are really like favourable as well. And I'm like, I know what you're going to do to me. I could see us definitely winning like next 3. And then it gets to like, I don't know, Shrewsbury at home. And we'll lose like 5-0. I can see it coming a mile off. And before Charlton fans jump gun on this, let me say my full sentence, right, before you start crying and wetting your nappies. I don't think Charlton are good. I seriously don't. When they come to our place earlier in the year, I thought they were absolutely dog shit. And then I thought last night, these are not a good side. But they got a point off us at our place and the betters tonight. And ultimately, that is all that matters. Are they good football inside? Absolutely not. Not even slightly. But look at the results. They win constantly. And at the end of the day, you could play like Man City and get your ass handed to you every single week with results. So who cares? Only thing that matters is this that's in front of you, and it's a load of green. And Charlton are sat in 5th, I think. Yeah. So oogies and monkeys about how you play when you're comfortably in playoffs now, and you're what? 8 points off top 2? It's not out of picture completely yet. They're one of the bigger clubs in this division, Charlton, and after just like sitting in mid-table doing now in League One for the last couple of years, they deserve a good run at this. They're like the Southern us. That's what I associate Charlton with. I also could see these being very hard to beat. You know, if it does end up with Charlton in playoffs, I would not want to be playing against them because they can be scrappy, they can be horrible. You know what Nathan Jones is like. I'll tell you what, these would be very tough to go up against in playoffs if they do end up in there. As for us, Huddersfield 0, Wrexham 1. Oh my goodness me, what has happened to these boys? They just can't score, can they, Huddersfield? Look at them at home. Oh my god, they've not scored at home in 6 games. What are they doing? Taylor's not started again. He must not be ready for the full game yet, but he's come off bench again. They are not scoring enough goals. It doesn't honestly surprise me that much with Duff, because it is very much like you can play football one way. Like when Duff were at us, I'm a big fan of Duff, by the way, and I always have been, and I probably always will be, because I thought it was very unlucky that we didn't go up in his first year with us. But he's got one way of playing that doesn't change. And when he was at us, every time we went 1-0 down, we did not win one single game that entire year when he was with us, when we went 1-0 down to start with. Or if we were losing, we never won a game after that. There's no give with him. I feel like even when you're losing, he don't put enough strikers on pitch at end to have a serious go at it. Do you know what I mean? It's very much like if you don't win first half, or say if you're losing at half time, I feel like you're effectively done a lot of time with Duff. But at the same time, I think Wrexham have definitely done a job on him. I seriously think Wrexham have played quite well. Obviously, I didn't watch it, but from the highlights, like the 6-minute highlights or whatever it was, and what people are saying after the game, Wrexham sounded like they've done quite well. And the subs, right? I know it's very easy to say this when Wrexham have got like the amount of depth that they have and the amount of experience that they've got. But Parkinson's subs this year have been top notch constantly. How many 80, 70 plus minute goals have Wrexham had this year? It seriously must be most in country. The amount of like 90th minute winners that they get, the amount of late scrappy goals that these get on a consistent basis is what has got it probably 15 more points than they could have had. A lot of time it is this scruffy rat, but you get what you pay for, don't you? And despite him being like 50, he scores goals every time he comes on pitch. So it's a huge, huge win for just for promotion race in general. Huddersfield have been like, from a side that you would expect to finish like before the season started. You're looking at Huddersfield and thinking a third at least. Aren't you, realistically? And then in January as well, when they spent that amount of money, which they did, like £4 million on 2 strikers, you're thinking, at least third place. There's no way these can like not be just outside the automatics at least. You're now looking at maybe they might not even be in playoffs, which is crazy. I don't know the financial situation at Huddersfield and whether your owners are, well, it don't mean anything, does it? If your owners could be worth $1 trillion, but if they're not willing to spend any money on you, you Reds, then unfortunately it means jack. But with the amount of money that these have spent this season, it's definitely not like you have to go up, because the attendances are good as Shield and you'd think the revenue would like carry itself over anyway. But I feel like if you miss your first season getting out, right, if you miss that when you're just coming down, your chances then get less and less and less, because you've got teams coming up from below you now that are spending stupid amounts of money, like Stockport and Wrexham. You've got freaks coming down now, Birmingham. I think the money that Birmingham spent overshadowed the amount that Huddersfield have spent, because that is still an absurd amount of money that they spent on like Taylor, which again I think that would have been transfer record if Birmingham hadn't broken it 5 times. I don't know. I really didn't know Huddersfield. I don't know what's wrong with him. Wrexham, I feel like this is quite big for my own like mental state, Wrexham, that they've won this, because I'm so like Mianari all the time about like, especially big games, Wrexham. I'm so like all over the place, especially after the Leighton Orient one. But this is like cemented it in my mind. These players are not daft. They've been there and done it. And again, I feel like if these are in playoffs, this is another side that I would not want to be going up against. Because you could definitely see them plucking some like free transfer out, couldn't you? Like I don't know how the registration works, but like if these are going to be in playoffs, and then it gets to May 1st, and these announce like Neymar on a free for 2 weeks, I could definitely see something stupid like that with these. Lincoln for Crawley one, that's more like it. That's more like it. Just first, I want to say that I thought Lincoln were horse shit against us, like really poor crap. I mean, we've bet you. Do you know what I mean? We've done double on these this season. Gee, you must be shit. A lot of goals conceded in it. A lot of goals conceded, and it's a lot of losses as well. 19 losses this season. God. They've obviously got something going forward, because they've scored 3 goals against us. They've scored 4 here. I liked this guy when he come on against us, this Fairchild. He looked quite good. But they've got like a decent enough crop of forwards that they'd score enough goals anyway, Lincoln. But I'm also not even that bothered about Lincoln anymore. Like, it's mid-table, it's done. So I just, respectfully, I don't care. I'm more looking at Crawley, the amount of goals that they're conceding compared to everybody else around them at like the current stage. Like, this is the best way to do it. Last 10, how many they conceded? 20. Oh my God. Like, none of the other bottom 3 have conceded that many goals. Like, Shrewsbury have only conceded 13. Oh my God. Last 10, is that real? I'm moving on. I got it. I'm always in quite a good mood. I wake up in quite a good mood, and then I'm like, we'll talk about League One. Oh, God. Mansfield 0, Wigan 0, couldn't care less. Northampton 1, Stockport 1. This is quite a big result. I'm seeing Cosgrove start for him. Oh, God. And he's got an 8-match rating. This guy again! This guy from Iceland! I'm fuming. I'm actually fuming. What are our scouts doing? They've picked this guy up for about 10 bob. And look at his goal record, man. If we can't outspend Stockport, I wanted to be respectful to Stockport because when I was growing up, they're in Championship and they're obviously a big side. But Jesus, come on. What are our idiots? We bring Clement Rodriguez. You've never heard of him. Exactly. He's got less goals than this guy's got in 60 minutes in his entire career. Jesus. Benoit. Oh, anyway, I think they've done well to rescue a point here, Stockport. But at the same time, you wouldn't have taken that before a ball kick, would you? No chance. Especially when the gap's just that small to top two, and then you like after the game, you always look at it as like a chance missed, don't you? When Wickham win, Wrexham win, Charlton, Bolton all win, Birmingham lose. They should be fine. I don't think they've got it in them for an automatic chase. I'm not going to lie to you. I do think it's, apart from Wickham and Wrexham, you're probably looking at Charlton and Bolton that's going to have a serious go at it. But Stockport should have enough to be in playoffs. I just, unfortunately for them, don't really see them doing it. Like their owners come out and say all the time, don't they, the plan and this 10-year plan, 5-year plan from when they're in National League and the amount of promotions that they've had. They're obviously way ahead of schedule. Probably the same as Wrexham are, in all honesty. I don't think they'd have expected to be this Eyup as they are this quick. But it shows that you can compete. And especially when you've got owners that are actually ambitious and care about you. Must be nice. You're going to get to this summer, probably spend a little bit of money again. Even if you just get them all on frees again, you're going to get good frees. And on a decent wage and all, you're going to keep your better players. Like Lewis Bates, a very good player that you picked up on a free from Leeds. Long-term future, Stockport will be fine. I don't think they'll go up this year, but long-term they should be fine. Northampton, I think, have definitely still got enough to stay up. I've been saying it constantly forever. I think Northampton will be sound, to be honest with you. Rotherham 1, Leyton Orient 0. To be fair, I thought Rotherham could have struggled until that last couple of weeks. Like when we played them, they were absolutely dog shit, but then they've won the last 2 games after that. Leyton Orient have now lost 4 in a row. 3 very big games. Like I said, after the Wrexham one, I thought, wow, these can do it. But then Bolton, Birmingham, Charlton, all losses. And then a loss away at Rotherham. Come on. I know it's a humongous what if. Like possibly the biggest what if of all time. But if they'd have won these 4 games, you'd have been joint with Wrexham. That's something to think about. That's something to help you cry to sleep at night. Rotherham have steered away from any sort of trouble, which is nice. I mean, they've still got to play us, so they're getting easy 3 points there. And they're still not out of it, don't get me wrong. But it's a 5-point gap now, and one that is going to continuously grow because you can't see, like, Bolton and Charlton, I cannot see dropping a lot of points now for the rest of the season. So it's all right saying, oh, well, we need to get to a certain points tally. You need to out-point these. You need to get more points than Bolton and Charlton for the rest of this year, which I don't think is going to be possible for probably any sides below them at the minute. It is a big win for Rotherham, mind. I don't want to take it away from them, that. But Leyton Orient had been coming here expecting to win, or to at least get something. Do you know what I mean? After 3 back-to-back losses, you'd be expecting something. Maybe not the confidence a little bit, this. Shrewsbury 0, Bristol Rovers 0, don't care. Reading, don't care. Wickham 2, Burton 0 to see it out. This is quite a big result because everybody looks at Burton at home in this league, or especially a side that wants to go up and think, oh, piece of piss this, Burton is shit. Which, in grand scheme of things, they are shit because they're in bottom 4. But also their form for like last, 15 games. The mid-table side, these are no mugs, Burton now. What are my standards? Burton and no mugs. What has happened to me? Kone's first start, I think, since he's come back from injury and he gets an assist straight away because he's the League 1 R9. Solid across board, to be honest, start to finish. Better side, comfortably. Burton still had their odd chance, which you would expect. And to be fair, we had similar stats to this home to Burton, and we drew 0-0. So that shows you the difference. Big win. Saw it out fairly comfortably as well. I don't think there were anything like glaringly big that Burton missed late on to give him a chance. Wickham deserve win. Do I think they can keep this pace up for the rest of the year? Wickham, no. To be honest with you, I'm now at a point looking at next season where I want, like, get your 3 big spenders out of this division. I want Birmingham, Wrexham, and Bolton out of this league. I would say as your 3 bigger spenders a minute, maybe like another field as well, because I feel like Wickham could be picked to bits in summer. Like they were picked apart a little bit in January, weren't they? And obviously if they don't go up, then you look at like Corners leaving, Caleb Taylor's going, you'll not get Humphries on loan again. But again, with owners that are serious, which Wickham have got, you've always got a chance. Burton won't be too disheartened as well, you know. I know they've lost this game and went over to every single side above you effectively has got points, but I won't be too disheartened. It's still only a 3-point gap to get out. You've got a better goal difference or a very similar one to 3 sides above you. I do think Burton will still get out, and they are looking like now the side that could maybe do it instead of the other ones. There's a little point gap from there to the rest of this bottom 3. Crawl the only ones that I don't see any chance getting out. And I do also think, well, let's look at the table now. I do also think that Shrewsbury has missed a trick, only getting a draw at home to Bristol Rovers. I think that's a humongous opportunity missed, and I am now at a point where I'm not sure about Shrewsbury. Like, there's a very high chance that they go around. The odds are definitely in favour of them going down now, especially when Burton are picking up that many points. You've got to finish above 4 sides above you, and I don't see it as much now as Shrewsbury, mainly because of the Burton thing. I could definitely see him finishing above Crawley and Cambridge, but even Cambridge is a bit iffy now with Neil Harris, but the quality is just non-existent with them. But it's if they could finish above Burton, and I'm not sure they can, to be honest. I still think we're in the same boat where you're looking at like a top 10 really because of the points gap between Barnsley and Stevenage. But for serious promotion chasing sides, and I'm being realistic now, I do think you're looking at like Bolton upwards. I do still think Birmingham are going to win league. Obviously, that's done. I do also think Bolton will get second. But for playoffs, I think you do well to look past either Wrexham or Charlton with how they can play if they want to. If they want to turn it on, the experience from a managerial point of view as well as players, I think they'd be two favourites going into it. Especially with the form, I would have said they've dropped off a cliff. And whichever one of these two don't get in top 2, at least one of them, are going to be so down in dumps. Like, the mental aspect of that must be huge. But yeah, it changes nothing realistically. Birmingham is still going to win league, and I do still fancy Bolton for second, I'm not going to lie to you. But that's that. There's obviously not lots to talk about with Championship because there are only 4 games on. But make sure you like and subscribe if you did enjoy, boys. Love you all. Thanks for watching. Kiss you in a bit, you Reds. League 2.
I say I'm a man, yes, I'm a mucker. I think of me saying is a right good looker. I say up that. Show us bit it.